They always told me I was too soft, too sensitive, too emotional for the brutal world of competitive sports. I still remember those whispers behind my back, the sideways glances, the smirks. Coaches, teammates, even friends, they all doubted me. They said I didn't have the killer instinct, that I couldn't handle the pressure, that I'd break the moment things got tough. And for a while, I started to believe them. Every time I missed a shot, every time I lost a match, their words echoed in my head like a curse. Maybe they were right. Maybe I didn't belong here. Maybe I was just wasting my time. But deep down, there was a fire, a quiet, stubborn flame that refused to die. I knew I wasn't weak. I wasn't soft. I just cared more than they did. I felt every win, every loss, every setback deep in my bones. And that wasn't a weakness. That was my strength. But it took me years to realize that. Years of pushing through failure, through disappointment, through pain that no one saw. While they were partying, I was training. While they were sleeping, I was studying the game. I learned to turn their doubts into fuel. Every insult, every snide comment, it all became part of my drive. I wasn't out to prove them wrong. I was out to prove myself right. There's this thing no one tells you about being underestimated. At first, it crushes you. It makes you question your worth. But if you stick with it long enough, it becomes your secret weapon. Because while everyone else is busy watching the loud, aggressive players, they completely overlook you. You get to grow in the shadows. You get to sharpen your skills without the pressure of expectations. And when the moment comes to shine, you're ready in a way no one saw coming. That was my story. I kept showing up, kept grinding. Even when no one believed in me, I believed in myself. I had to. There were nights I cried in frustration, wondering if all the sacrifice was worth it. I sacrificed friendships, weekends, holidays, everything that a normal life offers, just to chase this dream. And let me tell you, nothing prepares you for how lonely that can feel. But deep down, I knew I was building something bigger than myself. I was building resilience. I was building grit. You see, real strength isn't loud. It doesn't need to be. It's quiet. It's that inner voice that keeps whispering, "Get up, keep going," even when your body is screaming to quit. I learned to trust that voice, to let it guide me through the hardest seasons. And little by little, things started to change. The same people who once doubted me started to notice. They saw the improvements, the consistency, the fire that couldn't be put out. But still, they doubted my ability to perform under real pressure. "She's good in practice," they'd say, "but wait until the real test comes." And oh, the test came. My first major final was everything I feared and everything I hoped for. The stadium lights felt like they were burning holes through my skin. The roar of the crowd was deafening. Every heartbeat sounded like a drum pounding in my chest. This was the moment everyone said I'd break, that I'd crumble under pressure. And for a split second, I felt it. The weight of their expectations, or lack thereof, threatened to crush me. But then something incredible happened. I remembered all the hours alone in the gym, all the mornings I dragged myself out of bed while others slept, all the pain, the sweat, the tears. And I realized something. I belonged here, not because someone else said so, but because I earned it. Every single second of suffering led me to that moment. I stepped onto the field, the court, the arena, whatever it was, and everything else faded away. No noise, no doubt, just me and the game, pure focus, pure flow. And when the final whistle blew and we had won, I felt something deeper than joy. I felt vindicated, not just against my critics, but against my own inner demons. That was the day I realized what true strength looks like. It's not about being the loudest or the toughest. It's about standing tall when everything around you tells you to sit down. It's about trusting yourself when no one else does.
Winning that championship wasn't just a victory on the scoreboard, it was a message. A message to every girl, every guy, every kid who's ever been told they're too soft, too emotional, too sensitive for greatness. I wanted them to see that your softness isn't a flaw, it's your power. Because when you care deeply, you fight harder, you push further, you rise higher. I thought that winning would silence all the critics forever. But here's the truth I learned fast. Success doesn't stop the hate, it amplifies it. The same people who doubted you at the bottom will doubt you at the top. They'll say you got lucky. They'll look for excuses to tear you down. And that's when the real challenge begins. Because once you've proven yourself once, people expect you to do it again and again. They wait for you to slip, to fall, to show weakness. But what they don't realize is that by then, you've built an armor. Not the kind that makes you cold and numb, but the kind that makes you unstoppable. I kept training, kept pushing, because for me, it was never about one trophy. It was about setting a new standard, not just for myself, but for everyone watching, especially the next generation coming up behind me. I wanted them to know you don't have to change who you are to succeed. You don't have to toughen up in the way the world expects. You can be fierce and compassionate, strong and sensitive, bold and kind. That's the new definition of power. And let's talk about leadership. After that win, I wasn't just a player anymore. I became a leader. People looked up to me. Younger athletes came to me for advice, for mentorship. And that was a whole new level of responsibility. I realized that the true mark of a champion isn't just how you perform in the game. It's how you lift others up along the way. I made it my mission to create a culture of support, not fear. To encourage my teammates, not tear them down. Because I knew firsthand how damaging those doubts and criticisms can be. I didn't want anyone on my team to feel like they weren't enough. I wanted them to know that their unique strengths, no matter how different from the norm, were valuable. And guess what? That made us stronger. We became a team that trusted each other, that fought for each other, that celebrated every victory, big or small. And that kind of unity, that's what wins championships, not just talent. With every season that passed, my belief grew stronger. The world's idea of toughness is broken. We've been taught that to be great, you have to be cold, aggressive, even ruthless. But that's a lie. True greatness comes from balance, from knowing when to push and when to pause, from having the courage to be vulnerable, to admit fear, and still step forward anyway. I saw it happen over and over, not just in myself, but in my teammates. The ones who showed real heart, real passion, were the ones who delivered when it mattered most. Because when your whole being is invested in something, you bring a level of intensity and focus that can't be faked. Looking back now, I smile when I think of those early days, the whispers, the doubts, the dismissals. If only they could see me now. My name engraved on that championship trophy isn't just a personal win, it's a symbol that challenges every outdated belief about what strength looks like. And the best part? I'm just getting started. This journey taught me that success is never final. Every victory opens a new door, a new challenge, a new mountain to climb. And I'm here for all of it. So, to anyone out there who's been told you're too soft, too kind, too emotional, hear me now. Those are your superpowers. Don't let the world shame you into thinking you have to harden your heart to succeed. Bring your full self to the fight. Let your passion fuel you. Let your empathy guide you. Because when you embrace who you truly are, that's when you become unstoppable. And one day, when your name is on that trophy, when your dream becomes your reality, you'll look back and realize something powerful. You were never too soft. You were always exactly what greatness looks like.